These are my scraps. Let's just get them out of the way here. Whoops. See, because I'm always cutting up paper, trying to figure things out. And sometimes I have days where nothing happens. This is it. This is the glamour of my job. Let's figure out something new today. Oh, good morning, class. Hello. Hi, it's Matthew Reinhart, and I'm here to teach you part 2 of the layers lesson, and let's get started. All right, so today, like I said, I'm going to teach you the next lesson in learning layers, and layers are like the easiest. They also call them box layers. Today I have some colored cardstock. We're going to use that in part of our pop-up, but the main building block and most of the pops that we're going to make in this class are going to be made from just regular 110-pound cardstock, which you can get at like all kinds of different office stores. You can use construction paper if you want, but it's not as strong, and you won't be able to get some of the big, cool, tall things that I make in some of my books. And you know, a ruler is really going to be helpful. Definitely a pencil and with an eraser. Some Scotch tape will work, or masking tape if you want. I'm going to use, at some point I will use an X-Acto knife, but you don't have to use that if you are too young. We definitely need our scissors. All right, in today's lesson, we're going to learn how to make layers in a different way. And the first thing we're going to do is fold our piece of cardstock in half. That's called a hamburger fold, by the way. I know that I said that last time in last class, but I just like to remind everyone. Okay? And we're going to make a pop-up that goes horizontally like this. We're going to make like a pop-up scene. Just so that you can see that center fold, I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to rub along that fold so you can see it. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put some, see how this line goes across the center fold here? We're going to make some lines that are parallel to it in pencil, right along this lower part right here. And we're going to take our ruler. We're going to make a bunch of them, maybe every ½ inch. We're going to line it up, and every ½ inch we're going to make a little tick mark. And we're going to do it on both sides. The reason why we're doing it on both sides is so that we can have the measurement when we go across, and we can just link the little marks. Line up ½ inch on both sides. See those marks? See those marks right across? Very lightly make a line like that. Can you see that? I'll pull it up here. See that line? That line is parallel to our center fold. See how that goes? So we're gonna do that for all of those lines. So just make it really light so that you can see it, but it's not super dark, because we may want to erase those later. These are going to help us. These are going to help guide us when we make our layers later on. But if you look, it's parallel. Each of these lines is parallel. So now we can get started. Okay, I'm going to think about some of the things that I want in my scene. What should it be this morning? Well, maybe I want a whale in my scene. Maybe I'm going to just pencil in the outline of a whale. All right? You have to make sure that the bottom of it has a straight edge on it. So I'm going to draw my whale on the edge of my page. And I'm not going to draw in what he looks like on the inside. I'm just going to draw the outside. And then I'm going to take a pair of scissors and cut it out. All right, so we have our whale, but what else? Let's see, what else do we need in this scene? Ooh, I want an island. Does that look big enough? Let's see. Oh, I did something wrong there. So see, I did something wrong. See, I didn't draw it with the flat end down by the edge. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make sure that that edge has a straight line. So I'll use my ruler, just like that. So now when I cut it, I'll cut it on that straight line that I did with my ruler. Okay, so there's the island. Okay, so now let's make some trees to go on our little island. Now remember, you can make whatever scene you want to. I'm just doing this just to show you how to put together these different layers and make a scene from different pieces. So there's my shape, and I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to cut the edges out first, the outer edge. So see how I'm getting the outer edge first? Now some of these trees touch each other, so we can just bump, bump, bump along the way. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just snip in right here, cut it out, and do the same for that, and then maybe I'll use a little piece of tape to close it back up. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. All right, cool. So now we have that space in there. That way we could draw stuff on the inside of it or behind it. Let's turn it over. And let's just tape it back together again, just like this. There we go. It's all one piece again. Okay, so I think the trees are going to be the farthest back. I think it would look good just like that. Maybe 1-2 lines in. All right, and let's see what it looks like. Does it fit inside our card when it closes? Yeah. Take a piece of tape that's about as long as this bottom flat edge, and I'm going to line it up on the bottom on that line. See that flat edge goes right along there, and I'm going to tape it down. Okay, so there's one layer that we're going to use, and here's how we're going to make it pop up. The center fold to where we attach our tree layer. We're going to make a bridge that long and attach it to, I think we'll attach it to the top of the trees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of green cardstock and I'm going to make this bridge that is this long. So there is our measurement. Let's take our ruler. Now, it doesn't matter what these sides look like, but it does matter what the top and the bottom look like. They have to be, it has to be a parallel lines. Let's cut it. What we also need to do is we need to make sure this stays parallel. So that's why we have our lines here, because they'll help us get an idea of where to line it up. See how it lines up along this line? So let's take some tape. We're going to tape it down. I think I'm going to sort of curve the edges so it looks more tree-y. Now, the next step is taping it down to the top part of the card. Okay, I've attached my bridge layer here and it's attached to my trees piece. Now I'm going to make sure that it's pointing downward. I'm going to use a piece of my tape, my Scotch tape. Sticky side up. I'm going to tape it to the other edge of the bridge layer. See that? So this is sticky going up, and I'm pushing it flat down like so. And I'm going to close my card, press it real good so that it attaches to the other side. Now, see, it's attached. And if you want, you can kind of press it in so that it's a little bit more. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Our trees are popping up. Look at that. Look at that. That's cool. So there's our layer. So look at it from the side. This distance right here is the same as this distance right here. Okay, so I'm going to add this little island piece, I think right here. Now, so to see this line right here, see that very faint pencil line that we made? I'm going to line up the straight edge of our little purple island piece, and I'm going to tape it here along that edge. Oh, so we need to make a bridge layer that goes from him to there. Or, I've got a better idea. We could make a bridge, since this is already moving, maybe we could make a bridge from here to here. Let's do that. Let's count how long that bridge piece has to be. So let's see, here's 1 line, 2 lines. So it needs to be 2 lines. So let's make this bridge piece, we'll mark it. we're going to get rid of this part. All right, now we have the bridge. Now, when we make this attach, we have to make sure that this edge right here aligns with these lines. That's pretty close. Let's use this first line, and then we're going to take a piece of tape. The great thing about layers is they can build off of each other. That's what we're doing right now. We're building a layer off of a layer off of a layer. All right, so there, see how it's attached? And see how it kind of lines up with that line that's on our base? Now, we're going to tape it to this. Remember last time we took a piece of this tape, this Scotch tape, and this is the sticky side up, we stuck it under the edge of our bridge layer right there, that piece, and we pushed down the pop-up and we pressed it. You gotta press it down, make sure it gets in. Then when we open it, whoa, the island is popping up too. And sometimes, see that in there? It doesn't completely tape as good as it should. All you gotta do is press it down, make sure it tapes real good. Now look at our pop-up. Okay, now our whale. Now, let's see, I can choose any of these lines to attach him to. He could be back here, he could be up here, but I also wanna make sure if I line him up there and he folds down this way, no, that's not a good place, because look, he's gonna get outside of our card. How about like right there? You use a piece of Scotch tape or transparent tape right along that line, and we're going to tape him down just like so. This time, because I don't really want to see what that bridge looks like, because we want to hide sometimes the bridge layers so that we don't see them, I'm going to use white. And remember, it has to be this distance right here. So let's take this piece of scrap. Let's line it up and let's get that distance right. So this is going to be a big bridge layer. Again, let's take that ruler. So let's make sure our bridge layer that we have, let's see, that is the right distance from there to there. So let's think about that. Before we tape it down, what kind of shape? I think I'm just going to make it kind of blobby. We have to leave some straight line or some straight edges. See these edges? Some of this has to stay, but we can cut a little away. Let's see. I think I'm going to curve it a little on this side. The sides of that box layer can be curved. So that's what I did right there. Let's go ahead, put the tape on that straight edge. Right. You can use your pencil. Now you know exactly where you're supposed to line up. Okay, uh-oh. I made a little mistake. See there's a little tape right there? Well, if you want, remember that X-Acto knife I said I was going to use? Well, we could cut out that shape just like that. Because that extra tape that's sticky up is going to cause problems with our pop. All right, so there's our bridge layer and it's attached to our whale. And the next thing we're going to do, just like before, you use a piece of tape, sticky side up, see it's sticky, and we're going to put it underneath the other edge of our bridge layer. I'm going to do two pieces so that it gets that entire other edge. Then I'm going to close my pop, press it down. Now that we've taped it down, whoa, look at that. We've got our pop-up scene. And there's our bridge layers that we made and we measured. And we just did it measuring the different distances from where our different layers, shapes were attached. So look at that. It's still like the layer that we learned about last time. Remember when we had the closing box? You can still see those boxes. See them? Essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to hide that there are boxes in there. We're making all these cool shapes and we're hiding what could be where they're attached. So it's a little bit more of a surprise. Some of what I do is trying to hide that magic that happens. Because if we saw how the magic worked, it wouldn't be magic at all. So I hope you guys have liked this lesson. This is your second lesson, learning how to assemble layers, box layers. And this is a little bit more complicated way of figuring out how to work and make a pop-up scene using layers and using these bridge layers. See them on the top? Now we can decorate it and draw all kinds of cool stuff in there. If I didn't have a deadline for something that is due like in, oh, I don't know, 3 hours ago, I would be drawing all over this. But I got to get back to work. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's class, and keep paying attention, because there will be a pop quiz at the end of class. Just kidding. Anyways, see you later.